Hi everyone, my name is Donny Lowy from CloseoutExplosion.com. Hope you're doing well today. I have a wholesale business in New York. The next time you're in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. So today I'd like to discuss with you different sales channels that are available for sellers of wholesale merchandise here in New York. Whether you are based in New York or you want to travel to New York to sell merchandise, there are definitely some good opportunities. One opportunity is the flea market, right? A flea market's a great opportunity because someone else, right, the flea market operator, they're in charge of bringing customers to the flea market, right? And then they're going to charge a rental fee to set up at the flea market, whether it's a daily, a weekend, or a monthly fee. But they know that in order for flea market vendors to want to come set up by them, they need to bring the customers. So instead of you having to look for customers, you set up over there, and the customers are there. If you are going to take that route, then you need to make sure that you have merchandise that fits the needs and demands of the customers who go to that flea market. So I would suggest first go to the flea market as a customer, as a shopper, walk around, see what products are being sold, and see what products people are actually buying. Now, just because a product is not being sold, it doesn't mean that there isn't a demand for that product. The other sellers might not have thought of selling that product there, or they might not know where to find that product to sell. So you want to see who are the customers and then find out, speak to the customers. Find out what products you're looking for that are not available at the flea market and then start bringing those products to the flea market. Or you could take a more safer approach and buy products that you see that people are already buying at the flea market. Now, flea markets in New York, you have two options. You have an outdoor flea market that's going to be seasonal, and you also have indoor flea markets. Now, there's different indoor flea markets that you can find in New York. Some of them could be maybe more informal. I wouldn't really call them a flea market. Let's say it's a large store that sells out smaller spots within the store where you can set up and sell your merchandise, or you can actually have formal indoor flea markets. Now, I remember there used to be one indoor flea market on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. It still might be there. It might be worth checking it out. And I know there's also indoor flea markets that are also seasonal, right? Meaning they're set up at different points in the year. Some of them are held in churches and congregations and public schools, and some of them are, more formal, and they're year-round. So definitely look into those options. Another thing you could do in New York is you can actually rent a store, right? It depends where your store is located. You can get a lot of traffic. A store in a high-traffic location is going to have a very high rental fee every month, but the advantage is that there are going to be a lot of customers walking by. If you find a store where there isn't a lot of foot traffic, so you're going to pay a much lower rent, but that's the advantage. But of course, the challenge is you're going to have to find those customers. But if you have a way to attract customers to your store, whether it's by advertising online, but it's word of mouth, it's by going out to where customers are and letting them know about your store, then it might make sense for you to set up in a low foot traffic area because you're going to pay a lot less on the rent, and you can use some of those savings to advertise your store. Another way to sell wholesale merchandise in New York is to actually go store to store, show them the merchandise that you have, either show them samples or actually bring a case of merchandise, and this way you can make the sale right there. Another great option in New York is to set up street fairs. There's a lot of street fairs that happen throughout the year, of course mostly in the fall, spring, and summer season, and you can set up there and you can actually travel to different street fairs, and you can even sell to other street fair vendors wholesale merchandise, right? Because they need merchandise that they can sell themselves at the street fair. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. The next time you're in New York, please visit my warehouse. My website is CloseoutExplosion.com. Thank you and have a great day.